if you like are kind of against them in some way, you're like, please fail, please fail, please fail.
I think it's a good friendly competition between friends. Like I was trying to catch up with Luke. Although
Luke's
I was
ahead? No,
not anymore.
JR just surpassed him.
Oh.
We should already get into the podcast because
Yeah,
we're starting
all
to get good.
All right.
We are.
All right. We haven't started it yet.
Wait, yeah, we
All right. We're starting it now.
can't we just
Rehash
All right.
what was
I'll
going on.
edit this in maybe.
Okay.
Probably not that. All right.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Off Axis podcast. I'm here with JR Cole.
That's me. It's with an S.
Coles?
We've done this for 4 years.
Coles. God.
And welcome to another ruined podcast intro.
I screw up every intro. And then Jake Hinga. Is it Hingas or Hinga?
Nope.
I'm just
you don't
kidding.
need to add an S.
All right, so we were just talking about TikTok, so we're just going to jump into the TikTok conversation because I missed the boat. I'm a little late to it, and then I was a little pissed because I didn't get on the boat, and now everyone's blown up. But I was actually the first one on it because TikTok paid me to do posts originally, and then no one was on TikTok, and then I got bored, and I was like, well, no one's on this stupid app, and they're only giving me $10 per post.
Yep.
And then next thing you know, you guys are like, I forget who it was. I think Dave came over and he's like, yeah, I've just been getting on TikTok. Like JR and Luke are blowing up on that. I'm like, on TikTok? And
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, they have like 1 million followers. I'm like, what? On TikTok? I didn't even know TikTok was like doing anything. And then like immediately right after that, quarantine happened. And then like,
And then
I
it
can
blew up. To
only
the
imagine
mainstream,
that was like the send off. And you guys just.
It seemed to help, or it was a coincidence, but yeah.
I think it was already poised, honestly. Like, the time that me and JR really started gaining traction and, like, figuring out the app was probably, like, 4 or 5 months before
Something like
quarantine. So we understood the platform, and, like, from the time that I got on, honestly,
Wait, bring your mic closer.
the only creator that was there that was, like, a celebrity that was well-known was Howie Mandel. For whatever reason, like, he was on TikTok and everyone knew that he was like the only celebrity that was on it, and so it was super cute. And then shortly after joining, Will Smith was the next person to join, and his videos were blowing up. And then slowly you just see more and more celebrities get into it, and that's when I was like, this is going to be a big deal very soon. And it was already hitting that mainstream kind of train, and then COVID hit, and it was just the extra grease on the track for it to just fly away.
Just shot through the roof.
How do I turn this down? Jake's voice is just so
Super
grating.
loud. Right here. I think you are, Mike.
I'm
Is this
overbearing.
up or down?
That's up. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, that's good. This is only Mike's.
Oh, for your
Cool.
headphones?
Or only headphones.
Yeah,
He told me to lean in, and I feel like it's still too loud.
I'm mostly messing with you.
Well, I'm just looking at the volumes, and these are all pretty even, so
Yeah,
it
I
was
think
probably just
I
that.
think you guys are good, but
Your
it
headphones
was just
are
a little loud in my ears.
Okay.
Yeah. We're
Jared-
new to this.
I've been listening to Jake for the last 4 hours.
Yeah,
on the
he's
drive.
just tired from the drive.
He's like, just turn Jake down.
He wouldn't shut up. He kept talking the whole time.
So you guys just drove up from SoCal
Yeah,
to get a jacuzzi
yeah.
and shoot some videos.
That's a fact.
Okay, so tell me, why is there a jacuzzi in my driveway? Why couldn't it be in your driveway?
That's the California government for you. I don't even know what the issue is, but we were shopping for a jacuzzi, and the one we liked, we could not get in California.
Really?
We tried to get it shipped, and it wouldn't. And then I tried your address, and it worked. So I figured it was a California thing.
Yeah.
That's why we had it shipped here.
Yeah, that's not the first, second, or third time people have been like, hey, can I ship stuff to your house?
Yeah.
Like, my friend was, like, buying mushroom spores or something like that, and he was like, hey, they won't ship to California. Can we ship our drugs to your house? I'm like, sure.
Okay.
I have a question. Why are you getting a jacuzzi when you're, like, aren't you planning on moving soon?
Well, it's a jacuzzi we can take with us.
Oh,
It's
okay.
pretty portable. I mean, like,
Yeah.
somehow one guy got it out of the truck.
Yeah, I think it's fiberglass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty light.
Yeah.
I
Doesn't
feel like
take too
that's a
much
good
space up.
topic. Have you even explained, like, what's
What?
happening with Junk Tramp?
Yeah, are you
Not-
moving?
I'm trying. Yeah.
Where?
That's the issue. Like,
Out of California?
it's a No. We'll stay close.
Mm.
We'll stay really close. But it's a decision. I like having it at my house, and there's a lot of good and bad to that. It's inconvenient for the family sometimes, but it's really convenient for me. I don't have to drive anywhere. The setup's always the same, and I
Yeah.
don't know. Everyone can come to the same place every time. So right now we're we're moving every couple of months.
Oh yeah, so you guys are talking about the houses that you guys are getting or something, but you're trying to move the trampoline out of your house and live there still.
No, mine's still there, and I keep it. I just can't like shoot videos and run a business out of the house.
Why not?
That is illegal, as it turns out.
In California, though, right? Not in Nevada.
Fullerton.
In his
Fullerton.
specific area.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, California is just screwing over everything that's not like a big corporation. Like,
it's not California, because you can do it in other places. But Fullerton is Orange County, which is pretty strict typically. But they have other rules. Like, it is illegal in Fullerton to have a skateboard ramp anywhere in a residential area,
I believe it.
or anything resembling a skateboard ramp or similar to a skateboard ramp.
So a Trampwall.
Exactly.
So wait, you're not allowed to like shoot at your house anymore?
Nope.
Okay, but are you actually not going to shoot at your house anymore?
I'm not. No, I haven't.
Yeah, I was wondering why. I haven't seen anything from your house in a while.
That's why.
So
Yeah.
did someone just come and like tell you no more?
Yes. It was a long process, and I kept battling it, but they kept giving me new challenges and just kept coming up with new reasons why I couldn't do it.
Okay, I have a solution.
Huh.
So we just dig 16 more feet down in the ground, and then you can put a cover over it,
That's a good point.
and you can just put the jacuzzi on top of it, and then it slides in and out.
That also crossed my mind. That's also highly illegal.
Wait, is it?
But-
Why?
I mean, you can do it with a permit, possibly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of solutions I could do with a permit, except for the business thing. That was the one where there was no way I could get around it.
And you were pretty frustrated. Like, I remember you talking about there's just like thing after thing, and it just, I don't know, from our perspective, like Junk Tramp's been a solid staple in Trampwall for as long as a lot of us have even been doing it. And for us to hear
That's where I
that, like,
learned.
And Fullerton's been pretty supportive up until now. Like, they've inspected before in years past, and the code enforcement was just like, hey, just carry on. But I wasn't making money with it then either. So maybe that was the deal.
Yeah.
But
How do they know that you're making money?
well, I'm posting ads everywhere, so they can see. And I can do that. I could make the videos by myself or with my kids, but having other people in it, like other people come to participate in the business, is illegal. You can't have employees or customers come to your house if you have a business at your house.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think I could get away with everything else, like the structure and like the noise or whatever. All of that could go away, but the business, there's no way I can get around it.
Damn. So
Yeah.
you're going to get like so are you going to continue to live there and
Well,
move Trampwall somewhere else, or just move somewhere else?
For now, we're living there, but I'm trying to decide if I want to have a separate house for the Trampwall, or live there as well. So it's kind of up in the air, and it's going to depend on what I find out there. I've been looking at houses and properties, and nothing is a solid win just yet. I haven't seen anything where I'm like, yeah, this is perfect. So hopefully that'll come along and make the decision easier. But right now, we just have setups in different places, and we're just filming there.
It's kind of cool though.
It is cool. It's just difficult because I have to do that for every shoot.
Mm-hmm.
You have to set it up.
No, but I have to travel
Yeah.
every time. We have one in Santa Clarita, which is about an hour away from my house.
Yeah, that's pretty far.
And right now, one in Los Alamos, which is 2.5 hours from my house.
Where is Los Alamos? Is that San Diego?
It's near Solvang.
Way up
right?
north
Yeah.
by Santa Barbara, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know where that is actually. Damn. Yeah, that's really far. And
It's really far. Everything's cool. It's really fun. But just drive time, it's 5 hours for me to go there and back to film something. So if I was to do that a couple times a month, it wouldn't be bad, and then fill in the rest of the time just at home. I would love that. But now every single video has to be like that.
Yeah.
So you can do that in like Santa Clarita. You could run a business out of it or something.
It's a different. You can.
I guess they would never know because the Trampwall is probably not going to be there for too long too, huh?
That's true, and it's like 60 acres.
Yeah, it's pretty
You know.
secluded.
60 acres.
Yeah.
Like, you can't see the wall from the road.
Right.
Whose house is this?
It's that's
Is it
complicated.
an Airbnb?
It's complicated, but whose place it is Elton Casti, TFIL. I don't know if you ever met him.
Is it a YouTuber?
YouTuber, yeah.
I think you sent me a video of him or something.
Yeah. So he's filming his series there, and wanted the Trampwall, and then I just worked out a deal with him to like keep the Trampwall there so we can film there.
Oh, I'm sure he's pissed about that. Free Trampwall in the backyard.
It's good for all of us. It's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, everything. When they had it in Big Bear, it was great. It's all great. It's just that it's inconvenient.
Yeah. Did you guys get any complaints in Big Bear at all?
Yes and no. We had one neighbor who consistently would call the police and file noise complaints. One of our favorite ones was when it was at like 1 p.m. in the middle of the day for a noise complaint. And we were like, are you kidding me?
And the police show up?
And yeah, the police would show up and like basically be like, there's literally nothing we can do. This is pretty much ridiculous. And like we ended up developing like a fairly good reputation with them because we were polite. We'd answer questions. They could see what we're doing. They're like, oh, this is super cool. And like almost every other neighbor, even like just like JR's place, that was pretty much the same case. Like it's just one person who might have an issue. But we actually had across diagonally from us, there was an owner there. Most of the houses directly around us were Airbnbs, so it was new people coming in and out all the time. But diagonally across, there was a girl named Sandra who was like the most polite, kindest like person out there. She and her husband would all the time like come out and eat dinner and watch us train like the evening like sunset session. She was like super supportive. That one person who had an issue was like writing on this Big Bear blog post about like all of the complaints and like mixing truth with like blatant lies and just like
otherwise they won't sound legit.
And she literally made an account on that blog post to just defend us, and she like wrote this long paragraph addressing each of his points and then like printed that out and like walked over and like gave it to us so we could see what she was saying about us. And just like she was a sweetheart. And like another lady a couple houses down would give us she had like a little garden patch, and she would like give us fresh vegetables every other day. We had a lot of Airbnb people coming in and out, and they'd like bake us like baked goods for the day. And just like overwhelmingly, like there was a strong show of support from the Big Bear community. They most everyone but that one person really enjoyed our presence.
Damn. Yeah, there's always one person. Like that's just the danger of having neighbors and putting up a Trampwall.
And there's nothing you can do with it either. Like a lot of them, we worked very hard to like go out of our way. Like, hey, if we are ever causing a problem, like let us know. We'll quiet down. Like we just made it very clear communication. And even with the person who had a problem, I like was like, hey, do you want to meet and go over some of your complaints? We can talk about it. I feel like there's just a lot of like we can address this and move past it. And it's just like, no, I want to be mad. That's all.
That's usually what happens. People don't want to change. Well, that's unfortunate. But you guys like completed your whole stay there without getting kicked out or anything, right?
Yep, it was 100% good. We got a lot of content produced while we were in Big Bear. We left the Airbnb. The owner of it was fine with everything. Like she didn't have any complaints, so it was solid.
Where are you guys going next?
So that is the question. We are have money down on a house in Fallbrook, which is halfway in between LA and San Diego, about 40 minutes from the coast.
Okay, like Marietta kind of area?
Closer to like, well, I don't know Marietta, so I don't know.
I think it's probably midway between Marietta and Oceanside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were just looking at moving down there, actually.
Oh, really?
Nice.
It's not gonna happen though. I can't move to California. Like, there is just no way. You just spend too much money in California.
You do. Yeah,
like,
you have it good here in Nevada.
I literally save like 25% of my money just by living in Nevada, like taxes, and now there's like the like labor laws where you can't hire someone more than 3 times without hiring them as an actual employee.
Right. Yeah, it complicates your paperwork.
I couldn't do shows. That like makes my business impossible unless I pay everyone under the table.
I haven't looked into it much. I feel like they're going to roll back a lot of that, or there's going to be a lot of exceptions to that rule.
Yeah.
That's very difficult to do for any gig worker.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of gig working in...
Yeah, it's all gig work. The whole entertainment industry.
Yeah.
That's how it runs.
Entertainment and like DoorDash and Uber and those companies too.
Right.
They, as soon as that law like passed, they were like, okay, we're taking all of our business out of California.
Yeah.
Then California was like, wait. Okay, we'll talk. We'll
Right.
delay this a little bit.
That's like some Trump art of the deal stuff,
Yeah.
where you just put out some ridiculous thing and then scale it back till it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Negotiating, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's negotiating.
Yeah.
But it's weird to make it so public like that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that is super weird. Back to TikTok. So, like, you guys still, like, growing and stuff on TikTok? Like, what are you guys at now? 2 million?
You're
4
at
million?
what, 3.4?
3.4.
3.4 million?
Yeah.
What are you at?
1.3?
1.3. Jesus Christ. That's crazy. What's Luke at?
3.3?
3.3.
Is anyone else getting up there?
Amanda has actually had a couple videos. When we first got to Big Bear, she finally, because she's been really like doggedly going at it.
Yeah.
And she finally got some videos to hit traction in Big Bear because she was just so consistent. She had 2 back-to-back at over 4 million. And then
Wow.
she's had a couple more, I think in the transitionary period, do well also. And so she's at, I think, 550,000 now. So she's almost up to halfway to 1 million. So
Nice.
she's getting close as well.
I think she's figured it out, and she's good at editing and making an entertaining clip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's getting more consistent. She actually got more views than I did this month, so
Damn.
she's got it figured out.
And have your reviews been pretty consistent?
Yeah,
Nice.
really consistent.
How often do you guys post?
Average 3 to 7 times a week.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wish I was into TikTok more, but I feel like everyone else is into it, and I'm just I don't know. I just like YouTube too much.
I watch more YouTube than I do TikTok.
Yeah, I only watch YouTube. I listen to boring shit like money tutorials and like podcasts, and like I just like learning. I don't even listen to music. I don't like look at Instagram really. I just like listen to stuff on YouTube. So
Okay.
I just feel like I should just put all my effort towards YouTube all the time.
The reason
I would counter that.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'd counter that with if you spend maybe a couple hours on TikTok, your whole feed will be that. The algorithm will figure out that you want to see that stuff because there's plenty of that content there too.
Yeah.
And I think you could post that content and do really well there also.
That's a good idea.
It just takes time. Their algorithm is really smart, really fast, and it fluctuates, by the day depending on what you are watching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really smart.
And there's a lot of like I find TikTok's really good and as like a learning experience. So some of the things that you look to do in a YouTube video, it's longer form. So to me, one YouTube video is like a compilation of like 10 to 20 TikToks.
Pretty much.
And so by doing TikTok so consistently over this long period of time, that's why like I feel a big part of why a lot of Viners moved on to become successful YouTubers is they started to understand like beginning, middle, and end and pacing and flow and how to have a joke hit. And because they spent so much time with all these little practices, then when they finally got it to YouTube, all you're doing is doing that over and over and over again to make one whole YouTube video.
Yeah.
And now you're starting to understand that. So I've been spending like all of Big Bear pretty much. I actually stepped back from TikTok as much to focus on YouTube and start learning some of those things. Now going into this next house, I want to try to balance being able to still push my TikTok while also creating more and more YouTube videos. But I definitely can tell like every single video I've put out has gotten better, and I'm learning more and more as I go and getting faster at it.
Yeah. And TikTok was just bought by Oracle, right?
Well,
kind of.
Just the U.S. operations?
No. They just took I think a 20% stake in the company, and they're handling the cloud storage.
Like all the data and security.
I'm not sure what Walmart's role in it, but Walmart has an equal role as well. And that may have to do with the commerce aspect of TikTok. The Chinese version of it, I forget the name of it. Baidu?
ByteDance.
No. That's the main company. But
Yeah.
TikTok is an app in China as well. It has a separate name. But on that app, it works more like how Instagram, like sometimes there's a post and you can buy things directly on Instagram. You just click on it. There's that function that's supposed to come into TikTok. And I'm hoping that's what Walmart's going to be part of. Like you'll have to buy it through Walmart or something like that.
Yeah.
Which would be good to balance out the Amazon like monopoly that's going on.
That'd be great.
I think it's a good idea. But no, Oracle doesn't own TikTok or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that they were taking over like U.S. operations or something.
That was the proposal, but that was the art of the deal kind of thing I was talking about. Like,
Yeah.
you just ask for the moon, and then you chisel it down until you get, okay, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
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 I tried advertising on TikTok, and it was just terrible because they
Yeah,
don't
did you?
let you. I'm sure you guys haven't tried it though, right?
No.
So the good thing about Instagram ads are people follow your profile, and you basically get to advertise to them for free in the future.
Okay.
But on TikTok, you have to create a separate, like a whole separate profile. So it doesn't really give you the benefit of like people follow your page if you post
interesting.
cool content.
I didn't know that.
So you
It's
just create a separate profile, and those videos get pushed as ads
Yeah.
to that channel, but not to your actual.
It's
main
not
channel.
even a channel. It's just straight up an ad.
Just
There's
that one
nowhere to
video,
go from
that's
there.
it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I hope they fix it because as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, I'm taking all my money off of this.
Yeah.
But they were like,
I get that.
yeah, they had this deal going. It was like advertise with $100 and we'll like triple whatever you put in or something like that. And then, yeah, their ad, it was just terrible. It took them like 4 weeks to approve our ad too.
I
At
feel
some
like
point, I was like,
I feel like it doesn't work very well for smaller advertisers. Like Apple puts ads on there, and like really big companies like
Yeah.
that.
yeah,
But we get hit up all the time on TikTok to do ads, but rarely do the deals work out. And I've had people or companies just destroy the deal and like try to hit me up on Instagram to make a deal separately. And I just feel like maybe TikTok's taking too big a cut, or it's like what you say, that it's just
yeah,
convoluted and it's not really good for the company.
yeah. Yeah, we just saw like it didn't make any sense for us to continue doing any advertising on there.
Yeah.
Like we just get such good results on Instagram until recently though. But I have no idea what that is for. But our ads tanked. Like we used to get like 1,000 followers for like $100, and that was just because we were instead of like I don't post ads where it's like a picture of a shoe or anything.
Right.
I post viral videos and then
Promote them.
get them to come to our page, and then I usually have a picture of a shoe like right on top of the feed. So it's kind of like guerrilla sales
Gotcha.
instead of just like, here's a picture of a shoe. Click on it and buy it.
Well, we might have some insight into that because in the last month, Instagram has been pushing Reels,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
which is like their new thing
I just
on
posted
Instagram.
my first reel yesterday.
Okay.
It tanked. Did terrible.
Well,
See,
keep at it.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's like a bit like TikTok.
I complained to JR right from the get go. I was like, screw Reels. Like, this is stupid. Like, I posted videos like this or videos that were better than this on or like videos that should do well and it didn't do good. And then I finally had
Damn.
like one go viral.
Oh yeah, because I saw your profile finally crossed 100, right?
Yeah.
100,000,
Yeah.
and that's probably because of Reels.
Yeah.
'Cause it's probably the same algorithm as TikTok, where they show you to new people and shit.
Yes, that's what it feels like. But
Mm.
I had a rough start as well, and then they started hitting, and then I got 2 viral videos back to back, and then another one that's kind of viral too.
Yeah.
But I haven't had a video hit 6 million views on Instagram in 3 years
Really?
until they started Reels.
Yep.
Now
Yeah.
I'm getting virals again. So what I'm saying is like, I think the main feed may be suffering because they're pushing Reels so much.
Yeah.
I think it is totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably it because we haven't gotten any. Well, actually, our off-axis videos always do pretty well. Like they usually at least get like 10,000 or something.
Okay.
Well, like Garrett posted on Reels, his very first one hit over 1 million views. Then his second one hit over 1 million views, and he went from about, I want to say like 7,000 followers on Instagram. No, he'd actually gotten a video before that. I think he just passed like 10K. He was like at 12K before Reels got launched. Reels got launched, and he's been posting videos, and they've all been hitting really well. And he's almost at 40,000 followers now.
In a month.
Yeah.
Damn, that's
And
crazy.
Luke's at plus 20,000 now, and I'm about to hit 10,000, and that's all purely probably Reels.
Damn, gotta start getting on Reels.
Yep.
Yeah, the
It's-
problem is there's no acrobats in Vegas anymore. At least no off-axis guys. They all moved.
Oh, okay.
I lost Dylan. I lost Max. I lost Dave.
Where's Dylan?
Yeah.
Dylan's in Myrtle Beach.
Is he back on the show?
Yeah, they just started it
Oh,
again.
I heard
Okay.
they opened up.
Oh, and his brother's there too, huh?
Max's brother is on
Dakota?
a different show. That I think they're on different shows because there's
Oh.
Tennessee and then there's Myrtle Beach.
Oh, okay.
I think they're on separate shows.
That makes
But
sense.
yeah,
Well, sorry, man.
at least there's a. I know. I'm like, Trace is gonna be killing it pretty soon though. Trace is like getting super good,
Yeah, he
super
is.
quick, and we made that edit of him and it like killed it too. It got a bunch of views and
Cool.
He has
yeah.
a slight injury though, right? Like
he
didn't
just
twist his
got
ankle
hurt
or something.
Yeah, I'm super bummed.
You're like, yes, new guy.
And I was like, yes, we're gonna sponsor Trace. Then he gets hurt. I'm like, damn it, Trace. But Trace has been getting so good so quickly. So I think in a year, Trace is gonna be like one of the top guys. I bet because he's got that send it mentality. Plus he's got all those like crazy ski tricks.
Yeah, I
like
can see that.
skier like off axis style.
It's good, man. Bringing in new styles.
Yeah.
Do we know any other skiers that became Trampwall artists?
Yeah. John. Oh fuck. No, it's the teeterboard guy. Can't remember his name. I don't even want to say it because
John Vellner?
John Vellner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
John
really?
Vellner. I knew it was John. John Vellner is a skier. He's like a pro skier.
I didn't know that.
That's why he's so
Oh,
good
no
at all those
idea.
crazy off axis tricks.
He really is, yeah.
Yeah. John Damien, the circuit casting director, is also one of those skier guys too that would go down the gigantic mega ramp things.
Okay,
He's not really a trampoller though. He's like one of the trampoll casting guys though.
gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, do you guys ski at all?
Nope.
Snowboard?
I skied like a couple times growing up in Michigan, so I know how to ski. I never got the chance to snowboard, but I wouldn't say I know how to do like tricks or anything.
Yeah. It just hurts so much. Like I feel like the most injured I've ever got was snowboarding. And like I rarely
yeah.
go snowboarding.
Yeah, me too. I stopped mainly because of that. Because
Yeah.
I've never banged my head so hard as I did snowboarding.
Yeah. Snowboarding is dangerous. Like
Yeah.
it should be mandatory helmets.
I started wearing a helmet after that,
Yeah.
which was bad.
I got knocked out my first time skiing or snowboarding because
No.
I instead of turning front side and like stopping like where you're facing down the hill,
Uh-huh.
I only knew how to turn right, and like of course I was the kid who was like, I don't need to go to the bunny slope, and
Yeah.
like so I'm just going down the pro slope full speed, but I don't know how to stop, and I'm going like 30, and then I'm like, oh, I should stop, and I turned right, which is like backside, and just flipped back and
Okay.
smacked my head, and my dad got like all of it on film too, but it's like terrible quality, but it's like
Okay.
it was like one of my first concussions.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Yeah. But so what's this Zen app? Is this a new TikTok or something?
It's interesting because Zen is also a Chinese company.
Oh, China.
It works almost identically to TikTok.
Trump's gonna ban it.
And nobody cares about Zen. But no, I've had a viral video on there, and my other videos just are pretty consistently viewed, and it's growing. I think it might die now that TikTok seems to be in a safe place.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people were jumping over to Zen, you know, because it worked very similarly.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. The videos, the algorithm works very similarly to TikTok. So it's
Interesting.
familiar. It was easy. Just repost things there or post things.
Yeah. You make one video, you just post it to all the platforms.
I was doing some of that, or I'd make variations. Or if I had too many videos, like I didn't want to post twice a day on TikTok, I just put the extra one over on Zen.
Yeah.
Or if like I gave a video to Jake or someone else, I wouldn't post it on TikTok. I would post it on Zen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's nice to just put in like, I don't know, like 2% of your effort and time into just another app that might have 0% chance of succeeding, but like on the one off chance that app does happen to be the one that blows up, you've already started developing that. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
especially if
I'm on a
TikTok
bunch
is
of them.
weird.
I experiment with all of them that I know of. Yeah, just try them out, or just get my handle and put up a few videos at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what my friend Cole, he's like a little influencer kid. He was always about like all of the new like up and coming ones, and he would always just blow up on each one because he was
Yeah.
like one of the first ones on it.
And actually putting work in.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
he's like super famous.
It does work. I mean, it's a lot of effort, and most of those apps fail
Yeah.
pretty quickly. But that's the job, you know.
That's
you
what I
never
thought
know when it's
TikTok was
pop.
going to be.
You hoped.
I was just like, gee, this app sucks. I'm going to stop posting. And then
It's not too late for anyone. It's still growing, and the way the algorithm works, everyone gets a shot. And you already know how to make videos, so it's not going to be as hard for you.
There
yeah.
are people with your mentality too. So it's like if you change now, there are still people going to be like, I'll get to it. And then 6 months from now or 2 years from now, they finally do get on it. And at that point, they're so behind the curve. But like, honestly, at this point, people who switch to TikTok right now are still slightly ahead of the curve. But it's like, it's getting close to that 50% like bell mark of statistics. Like
Yeah.
most of the benefits of like being an early transformer are like long gone. Like everyone who got in early already has gotten in early. At this point now you are having to work against like the majority of the people who are in the app.
But they're going to make changes, you know. Instagram's always making changes, and YouTube's always making changes. TikTok will do the same thing. They'll introduce long form videos at some point.
Yeah.
And, then there'll be a new opportunity for you. It's just good to be on there, and it's a big platform.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
say
big now.
that even though I put zero effort into Facebook, because I hate Facebook the same way you hate TikTok.
Yeah.
So I try never to even open it. But I should. It's bad of me to do that.
I don't understand how Facebook operates.
It's like the grandfather. Like, you just can't get away from it because there's so many people you know that just, you only see them there.
Yeah, it's true though.
Yeah.
All of my friends are like on Facebook, and then like all of Instagram and like the other apps are like people I have no idea who it is.
But you can't even like operate a HoloLens now without it.
A what?
Or what's that? The VR headset?
Without Facebook.
Without
Oculus.
Facebook?
Oculus. That's the one they own, right? Oculus.
Yeah.
What's HoloLens?
I don't know.
Oh,
A
whatever.
HoloLens is one of those caps that pops on the front of your phone for a fisheye.
No, I think it's a VR thing.
Oh, I don't know.
Well,
I've never tried VR
We'll
before.
see it in the comments if anybody watches this.
Tell us what we're talking about.
But Oculus, yeah, you have to have a Facebook account to
Dang.
get like the updates for your Oculus, and it's connected with Instagram too. Like, I don't think you can be verified on Instagram if you don't have a Facebook account.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah,
Well, like everything goes through Facebook. Like even like ads and stuff, they're actually going through Facebook.
there you go.
But
Yeah,
you can choose to only run them on Instagram if you want to.
sure.
To me, Facebook just seems so like past the point of organic growth. Like I feel like it's very hard to grow organically on Facebook versus like, especially Instagram now with Reels. I wouldn't have said that like 2 months ago. And TikTok, like you can grow organically much easier than you can anywhere else. Like you would have to put in so much effort into Facebook to actually start growing a page that I feel like you actually blow up on another platform, get known, and then people will find you on Facebook. But I've tried looking at it like, who's that guy who always makes all the skits? He did like one for White Claw of like being a frat bro with White Claw. His name's like Trevor or something.
Yes.
He did one with In
He's
and Out, and I was
super popular.
crying
Yeah,
from it.
he made the Bang one too. I can't remember what his name is.
I have no idea.
He just makes stereotypical videos of certain
He's so
things,
good.
but
Okay.
he does a
I
really
can't
good
think of
job
his
of like
name.
relatable, like that is me, like going to Steak and Shake
I'm
and
gonna
being
find
like,
it real quick.
I know this order already. Like he just
Trev-
knows what
Trevor?
the most people
Is it
think.
Trevor?
I want to say it's Trevor, but I was like
not
on
Trevor
Facebook
Noah,
and
right?
I noticed one of his videos popped up as like a recommended thing. I looked at it and like saw how many people were following his fan page and all of those things, and I'm like, okay, so he's succeeding on Facebook, and like I've seen him on other platforms, so like there is a way to connect them all. Facebook takes so much effort that I'm still focused on learning one platform at a time, and Facebook is like the least of
But
my
they-
What
concerns.
is this?
But they could change.
What's his name?
Yeah,
it's
Trevor
this guy.
Wallace.
Trevor Wallace.
Oh, I have seen this guy. He's funny.
Yeah.
He's on TikTok.
Dude.
When I drink Bang Energy, I feel like I can see other people. Whoa! Best way to drink Bang is with a spoon and a lighter. Bang Energy is all about being manly, like sipping cotton candy. I work out at a park because I got banned from 24-hour fitness.
JR, you got to step up your Bang ads.
I feel like this is how Luke treats his Bang ads.
Yeah,
Okay.
we could actually post this as an ad, and they would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I
Yeah,
wonder
that guy's
how much.
hilarious.
I wonder how much money he got paid for that, because I feel like he probably did get a deal with that.
I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know.
I mean, that guy blew up super quick, but he's so good. And
Yeah,
I think
his
he does
stuff is
stand-up,
quality.
too, or something like that. Yeah, he does do stand-up, actually.
Okay.
He just started doing stand-up. We've actually been doing stand-up comedy nights here in the basement, too.
Oh, yeah?
We're making our way into stand-up.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I've just been writing shit down in my notes for like 3 years that I thought was funny. And then my friend Chris was like, yeah, let's do a stand-up night. And then we just like hung out down here and it was super fun. And everyone was just making fun of each other the whole time.
Is
That
it
sounds
like
good.
mainly the people in the house, or did you
It
have
was
other
people in the
come
house. There's a few other guests over. But eventually we're going to expand it. It'll be funny, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Comedy is pretty fun.
Neat.
What were we going to talk? Oh, the title of this video. I was going to make it Trampwall competitions, and we're 35 minutes in. Trampwall competitions. So, you guys got any coming up at all? Any
No,
events?
we recently had a discussion about it, and the first one I did, the first one we did,
It was
I
mainly
did-
JR.
did really well because we were all working together on a backstory.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I feel like we don't have a strong story going with the group right now to make people interested in a battle. So I feel like it would be a wasted effort to bring everyone together, and then no one's really caring who's going to win at this point.
Yeah.
We need to get some rivalries going and some legitimate beef maybe. Or just, we need to create some interest in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just want people to be engaged and interested in rooting for certain people. And there's still some of the things that we created like 4 or 5 months ago or whatever, but like renewing those, like I said, I took a huge step back in Big Bear from TikTok to work on my YouTube series, and because of that I stopped doing a lot of those videos, and I feel like a lot of people just in general in the house kind of stopped with that theme, because in the Joshua Tree house I was kind of like really pushing it and making sure like we were all on the same page, and like Luke would make a video and Paul would make a video and Dylan would make a video, and they all tied into the same thing. So we'd have like these arcs of
That's good.
storylines going on, and people on TikTok really appreciated that and got invested. And because we haven't been doing that lately, we feel like interest is low. So I think coming to this next house, me, Luke, Amanda, JR, and whoever else really wants to be a part of those specific storylines, we're going to really try to push that again. And if we can build up interest and we see a lot going for that, then maybe we'll have a competition. But if there's no interest for one, it's kind of a bit of a, not waste of time, but
I think it is a waste of time. It's a lot of effort to bring everyone together, and then it's a heartbreak when you put all your time and effort into it and then no one cares.
Yep. I
So
know how you feel.
you need you need to work up to it like we did
Yeah.
before. We worked really hard to build these stories, and it paid off. Like the video did really well from
day one.
from day one, having very little following on YouTube. The video did really well
Yeah.
and got good feedback. So, and it's still like, yeah, those stories still go. Like we still get comments about the rivalries and like Mo's the GOAT, and like we still go with it,
Mm-hmm.
but we need to refresh it, maybe get some new storylines going, and yeah, I mean, we have to focus on that first
Yeah.
because our competitions aren't about who can fly the highest.
They're not?
No,
What?
they're not.
I had no idea.
No.
Well, if you want to do one around the time that I'm doing one.
I already said yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I thought you were reconsidering right now.
No. I'll be here to help with your thing, and
Oh, yeah.
we might. I mean, we're gonna film some videos probably,
Yeah.
but I don't know that we'll put on a full-on competition. Maybe we'll do like a, what do they call those demo matches when it's like two old boxers? What do they call that?
Exhibition.
Exhibition.
Mm.
We might
Yeah.
have an exhibition with some people.
Yeah.
Whoever can get a story going before the time, those will be the two that'll be involved, or 4 or 6, or whoever can get some shit going on,
Yeah.
build some interest. Because you can't just go into a fight like with two unnamed people who no one cares
No
about.
one's going to watch it.
No, they're like, I don't care who wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of the time when I'm watching UFC, I'm like, I don't know this guy. Like, not paying attention at all.
Sure. I mean, half of like Muhammad Ali's interest was, first of all, his name, but then he wasn't just like kick-ass fighter. He was like, he had phrases like, fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee, shit like that. He was always about shit talking the opponents and like just building himself up, and the bravado.
Yep.
People want to see that guy fight.
Yep.
If he just was quiet all the time, never did interviews, just showed up to the fight and was awesome, no one would care.
Yeah, there's a lot of basketball players like that. In any sport, any industry, there's a lot of people who are just super skilled and talented at what they do, but that's all that they have. And, like, to a degree, you'll respect that, especially if you're overwhelmingly good, like clear stand ahead.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's not about the skill. It's about personality more than a lot of anything else.
Marketing yourself and stuff.
Indeed. How does Tony do that? Or can you talk about it?
Tony? How does he do what?
Because I don't know his history or how he promotes his fights. Does he get involved in that, or?
Tony is very humble. He doesn't like talk shit really to anyone.
Okay.
I think Tony obviously gained his popularity because he had like the longest win streak in the UFC.
Oh, okay. They built a story. Yeah. But you can do that. I don't know his thing. Tony, if you're watching, fucking sorry. But you could do that. You can build that streak by just giving him weak fighters or fighters that you know he'll win to build a story for the guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And we do that
All
with
the
our
time.
story.
Yeah.
We'll make a guy win a bunch of times to build it up, and then we'll make him lose. So it's like epic.
Yeah.
And people are interested and they're upset and they're shocked. Oh, he lost? How'd he lose? Like, he lands every time.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I've learned from TikTok and just editing in general is you can twist almost anything so easily, and you can craft so many different stories. Like, now I understand why politics is the way it is, because you can cherry pick anything and make something that didn't happen at all like that sound like it did, and people will think that happened.
Yep.
And even if they know that it's fake, they'll
They'll
still watch it because it's interesting. It's fun. It's a story. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I'm saying is, like, even in a real battle, like a real competition, you can just give someone a weaker opponent to make sure they win.
Yeah, that's definitely how boxing works. Boxing, they'll build up fighters. UFC is totally the opposite. They, like, almost no one has, like, an undefeated record in the UFC because they always make the best guys fight the best guys.
But you can bring a guy out of another organization and a guy with a 20-0 or whatever. You can bring him out of another organization and report those winnings and build him up that way. You're telling a story. Like, this guy's undefeated. Maybe not in the UFC, but he's undefeated.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a guy called Ben Askren who came into the UFC. He was like 18-0 or 19-0 or something crazy like that.
Uh-huh.
He just got his ass beat in
Were
the
they
UFC.
all like amateur fights or something? Or?
No, they're all professional, but
Okay.
like the UFC is like so much higher caliber than like any other like organization
Gotcha.
at all.
Yeah.
I think Tony built up his following mostly because he does like a lot of crazy acrobatics and like random shit on his profile.
Okay.
Like he just did like some parkour in his last video, and like I think that's where he like gained his huge following
Okay.
from just doing like outlandish that kind of stuff.
All right.
Yeah, he does like a lot of weird things, but it's different though. So he's like the only one. That was why I was such a big fan. I was like, oh, this is like the one UFC fighter that's like training acrobatics and breakdancing and all that kind of stuff.
That's rad.
Yeah. Let's see what else.
Oh, wait, he does breakdancing?
He does a little bit of breakdancing.
Okay.
He tries to learn a little bit of like everything, so that way it translates to his movement a lot better. Like his skill comes from like he's a very awkward person to fight because he doesn't fight like everyone else. He fights completely different.
Okay.
Like if there was an off axis,
That's a story.
him. Like totally.
That's a
Yeah,
story
he's
right
got
there.
like a
Yeah.
totally different, unique style than anyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That can play for our competitions too, because there's people from different worlds. Like, I mean, you came from scootering and
Skiing,
diving,
traditional gymnastics,
parkour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get people with like, I mean, standouts like Marley Webster, the completely unique style.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it's just him, like not even parkour. It's just
That's the way he wants to do
that's
things. Yeah.
how he does it, and it's really dramatic and really different, really fun to watch. He doesn't look like anyone else.
Yeah, definitely. Marley's got his own style for sure.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Marley.
Yep.
Hopefully Marley's watching.
I doubt it. I watched his though.
Yeah, yeah. Marley's one of my top guests. I think he's been on like 3 times now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, though, it's crazy how everyone has like their own style. Like, I obviously came from scootering, so it's weird for me to ever stand up straight. So everything I do is like tucked in, or I just try to do grabs and stuff.
Yeah. That's unique too, and you've developed it over the years. I remember when you started You had handlebar hands in every flip.
That's so
Like
true.
you were
Yeah.
holding a scooter.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you've broken out of that.
Yeah. Barely. I didn't break out of the like crouching down thing though. That's
Yeah,
still.
but a lot of people still have that, and I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah, I know so many people who do pops where they just tuck right away.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of taught by people to not specifically do that, and so it just like it's at that point it's more of just a style thing in general because they're getting just as much height. It's just they're
Yeah.
tucking right away in it. So,
Yeah.
You wouldn't want everyone to look the same. It'd get boring.
It would get boring. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, I feel like certain areas, they all have people that have the same kind of styles and stuff. Like, I feel like almost all the Canada guys, like,
Mhm.
no
Yeah.
offense, but they all kind of look the same. They all have, like, perfect style. They all, like,
You're
do
right.
this when they, like,
yeah.
stand and, like,
So
Yeah.
even for a while, like a lot of us Michigan people, we trained together, so we learned by some of the similar people.
you guys
or-
do all kind of have the style. You, Dylan, and Luke.
Yeah, we still have our own
Similar.
separate tricks that we focus on, and Dylan's out of everyone who's come directly from Michigan, I think has developed the most style, and he's been like the most successful at Trampwall. So he's got a little bit more experience with that. But like even junk tramp people from Vegas, like you start to just see where people are coming from. Even like I bet the Japanese guys, they're gonna be developing their own styles separate from us. Like they're
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
now learning a lot from us, but they're gonna hit a point where they're pushing their own things, and we're gonna be like, "Yo, I want to do that. Like, how did they do that?"
They do, and I think some of it's from their environment there. Like at my place, typically there's no roof. You know, it's all outdoors.
Yeah.
At Jump Power, where most of them are, I guess there are some new ones now that I haven't been to, but Jump Power has a low ceiling, and they have a 6 and an 8-foot wall. The taller wall is on the skinny side of the tramp. So anyway, they're all like conscious of hitting the ceiling,
Mm-hmm.
and the wall's only 8 feet tall, so they can't do like really, really high flying stuff.
Yeah.
So that's going to affect them, definitely.
That's true.
I don't know if it's going to be good or bad, but they're definitely going to have a different style just because of their environment.
Yeah, and I know like certain people, like, you know, Julian Colari came from the circus school out in Quebec, and that one had like a height cap as well. So he knew that he could have squat height and he could have like one pop height, and that was it. And he just like kept those levels distinct. But like for him to just like massively do 3 pops, like it's pointless. He'd be clearing his head into the ceiling. So it's like
Yeah.
those little things of like the environment of like what, like each gym, like there's one in called Senka in Seattle. That one had a trampoline that for me would bottom out, and I just couldn't do that high of stuff. So like if I were to have grown up in that environment, the tricks that I'd be doing would be very different than all these other places, because it's like you just can't do certain tricks in certain spots. Or like if you have access to a spine wall, or like a widthwise wall versus a long way trampoline, like all those things, or even Circus Center having the box set up, like a lot more people can play
Yeah.
with transfers that you don't get the option to anywhere else. So all of those are little factors that I feel like play into people's style, who you're around, and who you're naturally aspiring to be. Like I look up to Julian Roberge a lot because he's very tall, and a lot of
Yeah.
the tricks that he's good at, I get a little bit quicker too. Some people just vibe off with what they like and what they appreciate, and they'll just go with that. But to some degree, you also just rub off your peers. Like I've learned so many tricks just being around Junk Tramp. Like I wouldn't have picked up vampires, I can probably safely say, as well as I have, if I hadn't constantly been losing to Mo in box games because of freaking vampires. I've learned a lot of tricks from Garrett, and Garrett's learned some tricks from me that he didn't want to throw. So like we all just rub off each other, and we're like, if he gets that trick, I'm getting that trick next month. Like I'm going to, and that just all plays into it too, and it just helps us all be better. And it's a good rivalry, I feel like.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh, but you said
I heard
we
it.
all
I heard
rub
it
off
too.
each other.
Oh yeah.
Your mind's in the gutter.
Well done.
Yeah. So when are you guys planning on moving to your new place?
October 1st.
Ooh, nice. That's exciting.
Soon. Yep.
You guys gonna put up the same trampoline? And how high is the wall usually? 10?
10 from the bed. Yeah.
10? Was Julian like telling you guys it has to be 12?
He is still a very strong supporter of 12 feet, and I believe if he were here, he would still say it should be 12 feet. And honestly, I think at this point too, like a lot of us would benefit from 12 feet. Like me, Garrett, Dylan, Luke, all of us for sure. Like we're at a point now where we can be doing skills on 12, 10, 8. Like it doesn't really matter that much to us at this point. It has been nicer. Me and Julian have like a friendly debate about like the height. I personally think an 8-foot wall is better for beginners, because you're not as fearful of consequences, and consequences aren't as severe. So you can be more willing to try new things and progress a little bit quicker and then upgrade to the higher wall. Yeah. Whereas he's like, if you just learn from the higher wall, you have those instincts and techniques already down. So there's kind of two sides of the coin. But I feel like with a lot of our people learning in our group, like we have Amanda who's been learning a ton lately. Paul unfortunately got injured, but he was on track for learning a lot of Trampwall. We have Mitch dabbling, who's our videographer. Emma's been exploding with growth lately, and even Rebecca was a teeterboard artist who came out. She was on one of the podcasts, yeah. So like all of them, like our females have been really, really like putting in work.
Sarah too. Like
Sarah, yeah, sorry.
Quick, yeah.
So I feel like in terms of, actually I'm kind of proud. I just now thought of that. Is like I feel like in terms of female Trampwall artists, our group has the most consistent girls
you have
learning
like
in
75% of female Trampwall artists in your group.
That's so sad to think about.
It's too bad. But yeah, there was a dry spell there where like there wasn't many girls interested, and it was kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
But it's cool. They're coming up now.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. I mean, it's so fun. Like, I feel like if everyone was able to just fall off the wall and realized how fun it is, and it's generally pretty safe. Like,
yeah.
I don't think I've actually gotten hurt doing Trampwall.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
Maybe a rolled ankle once or twice, but that's it.
Yeah, I think I hurt my knee like one time, but compared to like going to the skate park or something, it's like
compared
night
to
and
teeterboard,
day.
compared to just about
everything.
anything.
The impact is just way lower too, long term wise. Like tumbling on ground or skateboarding where you're hitting concrete versus landing on your back, like it's just different.
Yeah, definitely.
So I have a subject actually that I wanted to share. I had contact with a GM from a trampoline park, and we are planning on doing like meet and greet tours. So we can go to trampoline parks across the U.S. who have tramp walls and start developing little communities all across the U.S. So that way, just across the board, there are more people interested in tramp wall, learning what tramp wall is, getting taught a little bit safer, so that, because there are a lot of people who just go to trampoline parks and are just like, I don't know any better, let me just send it this way. And it might not be super safe or whatever. And like, if we can kind of set that standard of like, maybe do a couple progressions before you just huck something, like just a little bit, that's something that we're really looking forward towards. Like we really, really want to, as a industry, as a sport, as an art form, just having more people learn about it and more outreach to like different places across the U.S. That would be huge. And the biggest barrier for entry of Trampwall is having access to a tramp wall. And for most people, that's in a trampoline park. And sometimes you like have to drive like 2 hours to get to the closest one. So if there could be more of them,
it's like half of my DMs. Like, where's the nearest tramp wall near me? I'm in Oregon or something like that. I'm like, dude, I don't know.
There's not many.
Yeah.
There really isn't very many. It's like Washington has a couple, and like there's a bunch here. There's a bunch in like SoCal, I guess.
Yeah, there's a reason why every Trampwall artist that's a professional is like migrated from a few spots. Like Michigan has a few at this point. Obviously Canada has a ton because a lot of them came out of there. Vegas and Southern California, and now we've got some small communities growing in Japan, and we've got a small communities growing in Russia. I feel like are really standouts.
Absolutely, yeah.
But there's a lot of places
Russia,
that are just not.
Yeah, since we've been posting a lot of box games, like we see them now, like in posts all over Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. You'll see trampoline parks, and they'll have a box taped out on top of the wall.
Nice.
Yeah.
I bet the Russians are going to start getting real good real quick.
Oh, yeah.
There's already some that are just insane. They're so good.
Dude, Russians are crazy at everything.
Yeah. Well, they're so precise and like
something about the
their
culture
training.
or something. I don't know what it is, but they just get good at all. Like they dominate like wrestling and like everything.
Yeah. Circus is like a long history there, right?
Yeah.
See, I feel
yeah. All of circus, a lot of it came from Russia, I bet.
It makes sense.
Because like
Russia and China.
Like,
I feel I'm gonna be a big supporter of the Japanese. I feel like they dominated the tricking field. Like for a while they were just learning, and then they came out of nowhere, and now they're like leading the pack. I feel like in Trampwall that could be the same. Like they just have this mentality of like, I'm gonna drill this and learn it very well and understand everything about it.
yeah, they're smarter than us.
But they also develop their own sense of style because they're not like a lot of us are constantly around the same kind of culture, and their culture is just so different that they just think in ways that we won't necessarily make that mental jump to. So
Yeah.
they'll come up with tricks that we're not even really thinking are on the radar, and
Yeah,
get good
they're
at those.
smarter than us. There's no better way. They are very like they have really good like ethics and like hygiene and that kind of stuff. Like apparently the COVID didn't really affect them at all because they already wear masks anyways when someone gets sick.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I don't know.
I was there in February, right before.
Were you?
Yeah, you did go there.
Right before COVID.
I always
hit.
wanted to go to Japan.
Actually, COVID was a thing while I was there, but not yet in Japan. It was obviously big in China at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like maybe 1 in 20 people had a mask on just everywhere you went.
Yeah.
And I assume that was someone who had like a sore throat that morning, or just maybe just people being super careful. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I bet you that becomes more of a normal thing in like a year whenever they make us stop wearing masks everywhere we go.
Yeah, I mean, in my neighborhood in Fullerton, there's a lot of Korean culture. I don't know if that has any effect on it, but I see more masks there, and always have, than typically
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. I grew up in Arcadia. It's like 90% Asian.
Okay.
I was like, why are they wearing masks? It's so weird.
Yeah, it's a cultural thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Now I think we're going to be doing that as well.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
It's not a bad idea if you're ill or think you might be ill. It's a good way to like.
No, it's totally, if you are sick, you should totally wear a mask.
Yeah.
Because now, like, I'm so conscious when I hear people coughing, I'm like, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, right.
I feel like it's very regional too. Like I just came back from Michigan, which is my first time like really leaving the area since everything went down, like finally going back home. And I definitely could just tell like this sense of like we've been relatively speaking still just like in our house. Like we have done collaborations, we have gone and visited other people, but for a large part of it, like we're just interacting constantly on a daily basis with people in the house. Like I won't even interact with people outside as much. But going back to Michigan, I definitely got a sense of like COVID's never really been a thing in Western Michigan. Like the people who know of people who have had cases is way less lower. So that's just like we've been doing this thing for so long without seeing really any results that a lot of them, overwhelming amount, just don't care. It's just not impacting them, so they don't think it's a thing. Whereas like in California, there's a lot higher rate, and so people are more conscious of it. So
Yeah.
it's just a very different. Like I refused to visit my grandparents because I knew coming from California, I was probably more at risk. And even though it's just a small chance, and I might not have anything, like knowing that my grandparents are more at risk, I just didn't want to see them.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that it's not like more promoted, like the health things that you need to do, like vitamin D deficiency is like a huge reason why people die of COVID, and like I feel like they should be pushing like, hey, you should be healthy rather than just like be afraid of this virus and wear a mask.
I mean, you could make that point just in general that people have just become accustomed to going to the doctor and getting fixed.
Yeah, and everyone's like, oh, give me a pill to fix everything. It's weird.
And it's hard to get people to change their lifestyle, even if you are a doctor.
Dude, it's
to
so
tell
hard.
people like, well, you need to stop drinking soda every day and do a little exercise, lose some weight, or whatever you might tell them to change their life that might make them feel better.
Yeah.
It's hard to change your lifestyle, you know?
Dude, it's really hard.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can see it as a doctor having that conversation over and over again, and then eventually you're like, they're never going to do this. I'm just going to give them the pill because it's better than nothing.
True.
So
It might not be, though.
yeah, in some cases, I'm sure it's not.
Yeah.
But it's a tough challenge. I'd like it to change. But there's a lot of, like, push. A lot of people saying what we're saying and pushing for it. But, you know.
Pushing for health?
Yeah, for people to exercise more and get out and eat better. But it's still a chronic problem. And it's not just in America now. It's like, it's a worldwide thing. It's like maybe we started it, but it's everywhere now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully the world gets better though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I wanted to ask, are you guys going to do like 10 people in the house again? Does that ever like, because I have 6 people in this house and sometimes I'm like, ugh, I need to live by myself or something. Like, how are you guys doing that with 10 people in the house?
That's a good question, actually. I feel like that's
Like,
a really good
Has
question.
there been any fights yet?
No, there's not been fights. I think as a group, we are exceptionally emotionally like talented in managing, like, hey, I'm overwhelmed today, maybe I need to leave and go to the park, or hey, I am having this underlying issue with someone, maybe I should talk to them and have a clear communication and conversation about it, and let's work through it. And everyone in the house kind of, we do a lot of things as a community to foster a culture that creates these healthy situations that I think help. So for instance, we do family dinners, which is where pretty much
That's a good one.
one or two people or 3 people will make dinner for everyone else. Everyone sits down and eats together. No phone. We have a couple rules. There's no phones, no talking about TikTok or business. And then we don't do anything like vulgar or like really raunchy talk at the dinner table, just to make everyone feel super welcome. And things like that. We'll do, we did a lot of like group acting and improv classes as a house. We did some dancing things, just little things where we're around each other, training together all the time, that you just start to develop like, hey, that person's maybe a little emotionally, like they just woke up on the wrong side of the bed and they need a little bit of time. Maybe I won't pester them with questions, or, you know, like a lot of the people in the house started to realize that I was overexerting myself and emotionally just drained from doing so much all the time and constantly being on, that they just knew that I needed some space sometimes, or would like really come together to help me. Like I remember there was one time where I got so down just from being overwhelmed with stuff that I needed to go on a hike for a very long time. And when I came back, I let the group know. I was like, look, I'm going through some stuff, like just bear with me. I'm going to go on a hike and kind of dip out for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then when I came back, Paul and Sarah had made me like this ice cream sundae thing.
Damn, that's awesome.
With like a cherry on top, just as like a treat to just be like, hey, we care about you, we love you. Like as a house, we're trying to do things because we know living with that many people, period, is just hard. And there's going to be a lot of things where, you know, someone didn't do their dishes, and if 3 people don't do their dishes, it's like it's already full, and then no one else wants to do their dishes.
That's like the biggest problem in our house.
So there's just a lot of things. We try to really make sure that we're giving slack and not getting upset about it. But if it is a recurring issue, you know, you have that direct conversation. You're like, hey, this is like a thing. Like some people will buy more expensive eggs, and then if another person just takes them, they're like, look, this for me is important. Like for me personally, that to me is not a big issue, but I understand that for some people that is a trigger point.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like, as long as you're clear and upfront about it, like our house is really good at like, all right, I'll make a point to remember that, and I'll like, we are friends, like we're gonna get through this. And that kind of trust and that faith has been like huge in making sure that our house is relatively cohesive like all the time.
Yeah.
So yes, we have a lot of people. We're going to still have a lot of people at the next house. There are going to be some minor changes as some people decide to do other things, and we bring in some other people. But overall, it's still going to be a pretty big house. But it's kind of fun.
I think the breaks that you guys have too, like it like gives everyone like a chill out, and then you start to miss being around all those people and stuff again. And then when you come back, it's like super exciting. Rather than if you guys were just together this whole time, it might start to get like irritated.
Yeah.
But because there's all these little breaks in between, it's like probably easier to balance it out.
Yeah,
I
agree.
That's awesome though, like all the dinner things that you guys do and stuff. It's a really good idea.
I personally have seen other like groups or teams or people, companies, like some of those things just you need to put in that work. And I feel like if you don't actively do it preemptively, it's going to come out somewhere. And I'd rather up front try to foster some of those things than wait until now people all of a sudden have a bunch of issues with each other because we weren't trying to work through those things or develop those communication lines. So that's a big part of what we do. Yeah. But I do think what you said about taking breaks in between is huge. Yeah. I know I was like at the end burnt out, and it's not on anyone in the house. It's just like we're all together around each other a lot. I'm doing a lot. All of us are doing a lot, and a lot of new stuff, like COVID's still present, so a lot of people are worried about work and income and whether I'm even making money. A lot of people, this whole social media thing is very new to them, so they feel lost, and it's just a lot of change in the air constantly. So I feel like getting that break, and for me, every time I take a break, I spend a lot of time just reflecting on what went well at the last place, what didn't go well, where can I make changes, what am I looking for, what's important to me, what's important for the group, and how we can all get what we'd like at the next place. And I really try and spend some time grounding myself and thinking of those questions so I can move into the next house feeling much more clear about where I want to go and where I think the group would like to go, and working towards ways to make that happen. So
Yeah, that's awesome though. Sounds like a really fun time, and I want to come check out one of these houses. Seems like a good time.
yeah, we'll definitely have to have you out. We're going to have a lot more space at the next one. Big Bear, we were hoping to do some more collaborations with like you or Purdy even, and setting up some other setups, but it wasn't really feasible. This next house, I believe the closest neighbor is like a mile away. We have a lot more flat land around, so it potentially we could have like a spine set up, or Purdy's like arc tramp. Like we
cool.
want to have access to some airbags, some other fun stuff. So I think we'll have a lot more room to play and be like Big Bear. We were surrounded by neighbors, so if we it was kind of a nice place, so we didn't want to like we had an idea to do like this Jello wrestling thing for one of the acro battles, and we were just like, we could buy a pool, but like, or we can make a tarp, but if it spills on the grass, then like that's gonna be like a mess that's just gonna kind of stay there, and that's not good for an Airbnb. Whereas this other place, it's just gonna be a lot more open land, and it's gonna be a lot easier for us to do some of our crazier ideas.
Yeah. Sounds fun though. Nearest neighbor being a mile away. That's always nice.
Yeah.
Like when we first moved here, we had no neighbors, and now there's houses popping up. Like, dude, they build a house in like 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, it's insane. Like, there's 5 houses over there. They just started like from the ground 2 weeks ago, and they're pretty much built.
That's crazy.
It's insane. They have like this crazy amount of union people, and there's like 10 guys working on the house. They have like these crazy like assembly lines, and like the houses go up so fast.
That's cool.
Yeah. But let's wrap it up right here. We're at like a hour and 6.
Okay.
So everyone listening, Jake, you can find everyone at Hinga Flips, right?
Yep.
Everyone can find you at Hinga Flips is what I meant to say. And then JR, Junk Tramp.
Yep.
Thank you guys for listening. Subscribe if you haven't, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.
See ya.